Oh man. Alright, so I'm just getting out of work here, so bear with me. I'm just trying to get home. But I had some thoughts when I was talking with some of my other admins at the I fucking love comic books. You know, I was thinking about some stuff about what's going on lately, especially with the gun control issues and stuff. And you know, I just got done reading this really cool story from back in the 80s, and it was DC Legends. It's a really cool story, big crossover featuring Superman, Blue Beetle, Shazam, Wonder Woman, Batman, quite a few other superheroes. And I think there was like 18, 19 chapters, 20 chapters, something like that. And it was cool. I haven't read the whole thing. I haven't gotten around to reading the whole thing. But it seems like a pretty cool story. I've got to read the Blue Beetle crossover issues. I got to read the Superman crossover issues. I've read the Shazam crossover issues. And you know, and it's for any of you who aren't familiar with the series, with that story, that was the introduction of one of the new gods. His name is G. Gordon Godfrey, and this is a character he's appeared in a couple of things. He's appeared in Justice League, and he's appeared in Young Justice. He's appeared in a couple other things, and he's kind of an interesting villain. And the whole story is that he starts off as like a talk show host. And he starts to gather a bit of a following, and then he kind of starts this controversial notion that superheroes are actually the bad guys. That, you know, guys like Superman and Blue Beetle, Batman, they're the people who are fighting crime and saving the planet, that they are the center of everything that's wrong. That they're, you know, like nuclear bombs running around unchecked. The guy eventually gains such a supporting, like, fan base that, I mean, the guy can whip up a mob in a matter of moments. I mean, the guy gives grand speeches. He goes from just a couple of TV appearances to standing up on stage with, you know, crowds cheering, and then he eventually gets the ability, like, he eventually gains the ability to influence legislation, where then he influences Ronald Reagan and governors to outlaw superheroes. So, you know, Superman and, you know, Blue Beetle, these guys are getting chased after by cops. I mean, Superman, not for nearly as long, because he ends up finding himself on Apokolips, where he's then pursued by Amazing Grace, G. Gordon's sister, and he gets influenced by her. But you know, Robin gets the dog snot beat out of him. This is Jason Todd. You know, he gets messed up. Like, a crowd of people, just like, they break his leg, they smash up his face. I mean, he gets put in the hospital. You know, Batman just leaves him behind, just straight up leaves him to get his ass whooped. Blue Beetle's getting shot at by cops. I mean, it's crazy. And there's some people who are like, you know, stop, you know, telling other people to stop, you know, don't do this. But for the better part, the majority of the crowd, you know, are getting whipped up in a frenzy. But of course, you know, but we later find out that G. Gordon he's a new god from Apokolips, and this was all set into motion by Darkseid, that he's supposed to whip up the people and turn them against the other superheroes. And this was also the story arc where the Suicide Squad comes from, like the start of the Suicide Squad, because the government wants their own heroes, or, you know, nuclear bombs or whatever have you, that they can control. So this is where we get the start of that, which is kind of a cool little bit. But yeah, I was sitting here thinking about that, and I was talking with the other admins, and I was like, man, it dawned on me. I was like, you know, David Hogg really reminds me of G. Gordon Godfrey. You know, he starts off as this nobody And the more criticism he draws from certain people, the more other people start to latch on to him. And now this guy is able to say, he's able to say ugly things. You know, G. Gordon was able to say some really ugly things about Superman, and people were like, yeah, that's true, man. I mean, this guy could obliterate me in a single punch. He could kill me at any moment. What if this guy does go crazy? And, you know, it's sort of like David Hogg saying, like, hey, NRA members can, you know, they can have the blood of children splattered on their face and they still won't give a damn about dead kids and just ugly shit like that, man. So I was thinking about that, and I was like, man, like, this kid is... I mean, we're seeing it. I mean, we're seeing Legends unfold. Like, the story of Legends just kind of unfold right before us. So, you know, just comment down below. Think, you know, let me know what you think. I mean, is this... Am I out of place? Am I crazy? You know, do you like the comparison? But, if anything... Go check out DC Legends. It's on Hoopla. It's on Comixology. Go find the tie-ins. Go read it. It's a fun story. All right, later, guys.